Hey folks, John with Complete Technology Solutions, your friend in the computer business. Guys, I am so excited. Rarely on YouTube are you ever the first to do anything. I have two of those now. I was the first to actually do the Raspberry conversion on the Commodore VIC-20. If you guys never saw that, even if you guys are not computer dorks like me, check out those videos. They're really kind of cool. But this one is another first. Here we go. All right, guys, so I have got to tell you, I am so excited about this. Please let it be good. Please let it be good. This is the Mercury Rise MUB43. This is a .43 caliber pistol. And guys, I'm going to tell you before we even open this thing up, it's going to look familiar to you. And there's a reason for that, and we'll get to that too. So this company actually contacted me and told me that they were opening up a brand new warehouse in order to be able to supply these out and ramp up production on them, because apparently they're becoming pretty popular now. Now, they're relatively unknown, but they're not. And that's the craziest thing about this. All right, so let's go ahead and crack this thing open and look at it together. I can't wait. I have been waiting for this one for so long, guys. By the way, I got to tell you, I have got a stack of boxes over here that are going to blow your minds, guys. This is videos I have wanted to do, and I'm talking about everything from the HTP 50 modifications and upgrades to another Pepperball launcher. I have just got them stacked, ready to go over here. So this week and next week are going to be video central. I hope you're ready. All right, cracking this thing open. Oh, guys, the box is beautiful. Look at that. It is gorgeous. Now, I intentionally did not show Stumpy the back of this box, and let me show you why. When you turn this over, that's going to look very familiar if you've watched any of my videos in the past. Yes, a Lancer Tactical Hornet. Now, let's see what the gun looks like. We don't want to just go with it here. Let's take a look and give it a fair chance. All right. This is so exciting. Okay. I love being the first. It's just real rare to me. All right, cracking her open. Check it out, guys. So we get our manual in here. And as you can see, it's got the .43 caliber pistol right there. Pretty basic manual, guys, but just like on the Hornet, it's a very simple to operate gun, and we're going to get to that. Now, there is something very important about this that you're not going to believe. So you're going to get a welcome card. You're going to get their website on here, as well as their, now this is important, as well as their email address. And I'll explain why that's important in just a second. Getting to the gun. All right, so you've got a couple of different keys here. You've got a regular Allen key, and you've got what looks like a push pin. Now, I know what that is, and we'll get to that here in just a little bit. It looks like it comes with, let's see, got 8 balls, and that looks like practice pepper balls. If I can get to those. Yeah, that's the blue practice pepper balls. And here is the gun itself. Guys, that actually, okay, that looks like a toy, right? It does. It's small. Look, you can see how big my hand is. But if you look at the design, guys, that looks exactly like the Lancer Tactical Hornet. And why? Because these guys are the manufacturer for them. So these are going to come straight from the manufacturer instead of having to pay the upcharge that you go with the Lancer Tactical Hornet. Now, let's hope it's as good. We're going to find out here in a second. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do, guys, and I'm going to show you this, if you'll remember from the Lancer Tactical Hornet, the first thing you do to pull the magazine out, which is actually in the front of this weapon, is to push this button right here, and that'll release the mag. All right? Release the magazine. The first thing you want to do when you get this gun is take this magazine and throw it away. I know. You're laughing your butt off right now. You're going, why did he just throw the magazine away? All right. When they designed this, apparently there was a slight manufacturing defect in the magazine, and what it was causing was jams on the balls as they were being fed. This pin that you were talking about, this little push pin, will actually release the ball if it's in the chamber when you try to pull the magazine out. Now, I can't imagine why you would pull a completely loaded magazine out, but that's what that's designed to do. But once you get the gun you immediately, using the card, and that's why I said keep all that information, email the company. They're incredibly responsive, and they will send you 2 of the modified, upgraded magazines. There you go. And you'll be able to see they'll actually have some markings on them. That is the upgraded magazine that will not jam. So, yes, I know that's hilarious. You pick it up, throw it away. Tell you what, let's compare them side by side and let's see what the difference is, or if it's even something we can see. Here we go. All right, guys, so here's the original magazine. I'm going to show this to Stumpy here. All right, so we're going to compare one of the modified magazines to this and visually see if we can see a difference in the magazine. Okay, one thing I am noticing, guys, and I don't know if Stumpy's going to pick this up. We're level here. If you could see this, this is a tiny bit shorter on this magazine. Aside from that, looking side to side, I don't see a visual difference. On this side, I don't see a visual difference. The hook looks the same to me. I don't see anything on there that would be different, except for the fact that this magazine, the modded version, is and I mean a tiny bit shorter. So I'm assuming that's causing the longer version is actually getting wedged in the mechanism somewhere. I'm not even going to put this in the gun because I don't want to risk messing it up. So, all right, guys, here's what we're going to do. In order to load this weapon, and you've seen this on the Lancer Tactical video, you unscrew this chamber. Now, this uses the standard 8-gram CO2 cartridges, all right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our 8-gram cartridge. We're going to put a drop of our Pell gun oil on the cartridge. Yeah, show Stumpy this. Man, I'll tell you, this Pell gun oil can get nasty. You don't screw that thing tight, it leaves a puddle. Like, it escapes through the smallest little areas. All right, once again, into the base, nozzle up. All right, we're going to screw the cap on. Now, these caps are great. You screw them all the way down until they're snug. You do not have to go crazy. They stop, okay? Now, we're going to load the balls in here. We're going to use, tell you what, let's use the ones they sent us, all right? That way we're testing everything in the box. Obviously, for self-defense, you're going to want to run pepper balls. And typically what I do is I will stagger them, pepper ball, solid ball. You guys have seen that before. We've discussed it. So let's go ahead. Now, this weapon, just like the Hornet, will only hold 4 rounds. So the good news is these magazines are kind of small. So you've heard me say it 1,000 times. The first 4 rounds are the most important. All right, so we're going to push these in here to load this in. Now, you can, guys, and I'm going to show you this here. If you slide this bar back right here on the side, then the balls will just roll in. Otherwise, you can actually pressurize them and shove them on into place. All right, just like you see that little thing, little spring right there? That's holding the rounds in. All right, just like that. And then we're going to slide this in to the weapon right in the front, and we're going to lock it in place. All right. At this point, in order to charge the weapon, you strike the butt. Now, I want to talk to you guys about one major difference between this weapon and the Lancer Tactical Hornet. And that major difference resides in that hole right there. Right out of the box, you can adjust the velocity on this to maximum. And the way you do that is by taking that little Allen key that's in this bag, placing it into the back of the weapon. And now here's the drill. Think of this kind of like you're opening or closing a valve, okay? In order to open the valve to give you more pressure, you're going to go counterclockwise until it stops. Now, you don't have to go over tight with this, guys. Counterclockwise, counterclockwise. Usually they said 2.5 turns and it will stop. And when it stops right there, that's it. That actually stopped on its own, so you don't have to crank it beyond that point. Looks like it went about 2.5 turns, like they said. That's about right. At this point, this is maximum pressure coming out of this. And of course, if you're going to have something with 4 rounds in it, those first 4 rounds have got to count. You're going to want maximum pressure. So, guys, you know the drill. Let's go to the range. Let's see what this actually does. I am really, really, really curious. Here we go. Okay, guys, so here's what we're going to do. As you can see, we've got our little target set up down there. As little as this is, guys, I am not expecting this to be like super, super accurate. So, but we're going to give it a shot and see what it actually does, all right? I'm going to be aiming for that target, which is a little bit high on the side there, and we'll see if we can actually put a hole in it. So, we're going to strike the bottom, and as you can hear, it actually, you don't have a pin on this one. You actually heard it kind of clunk, and that locks into place, but we got no leaks at all, right? So, we're going to put this on fire. Now, somebody had requested last time, guys, that when I do these videos, I try to show you the shot breech side. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to angle the camera a tad so that you can see the breach when I'm firing. I'm not promising, guys. I'm doing my best here. All right, so let's take a shot at that top target. And that's 4 rounds. Guys, the trigger pull, maybe 2 pounds. It's very, very, very light, which is actually pretty cool. All right, now here's what we're going to do, guys. Now, one thing I want to tell you, we're going to go ahead and put more rounds in this here in just a second. But in order to pop the magazine out, you have to be on safety. And let me show you why. If you are currently on fire right there, and you try to pop the magazine out, watch what happens. It sticks, okay? So we're going to push that back in a little bit. Now we're going to put this thing on safety, which is right there. Push that in for safety. Then we're going to push the mag release. Boop, out she comes. Pretty neat, huh? All right, so let's take our next magazine, and let's put that in there. And there we go. We are ready to go. So let's put it on fire. We're going to take 4 more shots at the same target. Here we go. And guys, bear with me. I'm trying to keep the breach in frame for you so you can see it. So let's see what we can do here. Put her back on fire. There we go. 4 more rounds. Let's see what that actually did, shall we? Now, I do want to test the impact on this. Okay. Okay. All right. That's not bad, guys. Hang on a second here. For a short barrel at, we're going to call it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So at about 30 feet. Short barrel. As you can see, I was punching all right in this area. And I kept trying to realign my shots here. But you can see we hit a couple of them dead bullseye. But right in that area. So it's really not bad for a barrel that's that long inside that thing. But what about impact? Let's find out. All right, guys, so here's what we're going to do. Poor Scully. Yeah, he's been really abused in this trip, hadn't he? I really need to make a new Scully, and after this video, I probably will. Because as you can see, we have pretty much jacked this poor Scully up pretty bad. But we're going to try for an open spot here. Now, I'm going to shoot from about 15 feet away, guys, but I want to put you up close so you guys can get a good look at the impact here. I've got 2 magazines, and what we're actually running now, if you look in there, those are those rubber steel-infused balls. And I'll have links down in the description for that. And I'm going to do two full magazines. So we're going to fire this 8 times as quickly as I can fire it, safety, pop the mag out, pop a new mag in, fire it, and go. So we're going to see what we can do. All right. So brand new CO2 cartridge, charged and ready, no leaks. All right, let me step back into position here, and we're going to take some shots at Scully. All right, I'm going to count. You know what? Let me count this off here, guys. I want to make sure we're doing this fair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 feet. So we're going to call it anywhere from 13 to 15 feet. All right, here we go. Putting it onto fire. That's 4. Putting it on safe, dropping the mag, popping the new mag in. There we go. Putting it on fire, firing. Jeez. Guys, was it my imagination that last one seemed like it actually was like louder? I mean, like ring my ears louder. So, as you guys can see, that's pretty. This is the damage that, if you'll recall, that the Berna did. And you see how it knocked a hole right in the side of it? And over here is what this thing just did. And guys, it was pretty darn accurate. I mean, it really, really was. I was able to put a couple of them right on top of each other. Pretty neat, right? All right, let's go back in the office here. We'll talk about this little cool little thing. Be right back. Guys, you know, it's kind of an interesting thing to me. So when I was testing this, I discovered a couple more things that I wanted to let you know about. When the CO2 runs low, it's got some sort of a bladder or a release so that when you fire the round and the CO2 is low, it kind of goes and it lets out the remaining small amount of CO2. I'm assuming that is to keep the ball from wedging in the barrel. I mean, I can't imagine any other reason it would actually do that. And it's only when you get low on CO2. I was actually able to fire 4 magazines full without having any problem. When I got to that 5th one, about 3 rounds in, it kind of went, and sure enough, it was like empty on CO2. The safety, you've got to make sure that to release that mag, you've got to have that safety. You see how I'm on fire? Look at that. And I'm going to show, tell you what, let me show Stumpy this real quick. All right. So if you're looking at this right here, if right now, if we are on fire, by the way, I got no CO2 in this guy, so don't worry about it. But if we're on fire right now and we hit that button, the mag sticks. See how it wedges? And it's stuck there, guys. It does not come out. So we're going to put that back in and lock it. But if I push this onto safety and then hit the button, it pops right out. So keep that in mind, guys. It's got to be on safe in order to change out the magazines. That's probably a good thing, because if you're going pop, 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 and you hit, just hit it, if it was on fire and popped and it popped out and you put a new one in, you could shoot your finger. Probably not a bad thing, right? Now, compared to, say, the Lancer Hornet, guys, if you'll look at this, the detail on it is actually really, really nice. And I love how they kind of engraved their name and all the information into the side of this thing. These come in red, blue, and I believe they've got a black version, and they're identical. They work the same as the Hornet. Now, here's the kicker. They're cheaper, and I mean like 30 to 40% cheaper, considerably cheaper, and it's the same gun. So I love the fact that you can adjust that velocity. It did fire fantastic. It's got great accuracy for being such a short barrel at that range. And for being an inexpensive weapon, it's nice. I can't say much more about it. I like it. Once again, I can get past the whole having to put it on safety to pop out the mag. I understand the concept there. I get it, and that's cool. I'm not a real fan of the 4-shot mags, but once again, you've heard me say 1,000 times, if you're in that situation, those first 4, 5, 6 shots, they count. So you really need to make those count. I love being able to ramp that velocity like right on the weapon. That is really cool. And I have no doubt that obviously that's going to bust pepper balls all over the place. It's going to work perfectly for that. So, but here we go. So what can we say? The Mercury Rise MUB43 cal. It's pretty cool. And I'll drop links down here so you guys can take a look at these things. This is relatively new on the market, guys. These guys are an up-and-coming company, which means that we're only going to see improvements. Oh, and I've had a little sneak peek at their MUB50. Guess what it looks like? It looks exactly like a Lancer Tactical Scorpion. And I'm talking about design, functionality, and color. But I guarantee you it's going to come in at a better price. When those are available, they've already promised I will get one. They keep saying December, and you know I will have it on this channel. Have a fantastic week, guys. I have got so much stuff planned for you. Sit back and grab your popcorn. It's going to be a ride. Have a good one. Bye-bye.